I can tell you right now, with the Seahawks coming to town, I mean, I think the approach, who looks better if you're truly objective? Who looks better at playing the quarterback position? I'm not saying whether you hurt or not, Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston.
Andy Dalton.
You remember what I told you in training camp, that if you just flew down from Mars and you don't know nobody, anything, you just know American football, the basic rules, and you're just watching everyone play. You know, we talked about Paulson Adebo, the outstanding camp he had. He didn't have necessarily outstanding game today. Lattimore either. Lattimore wasn't guarding Mike Evans. He was guarding Justin Jefferson. Now, I think Justin Jefferson is going to burn a lot of people, but I don't know why he was talking smack to Justin Jefferson, because Justin Jefferson had Lattimore's number. 10 catches, 147 yards, 15-yard average, and Christian, it could even have been maybe a little worse than that. But just looking at, what I witnessed in training camp and now in this season, the offense just seems more stable and more precise when Andy Dalton at the helm. Nothing against Jameis Winston. It's not as erratic as up and down. So
it had a little bit more rhythm to it today.
Yes. More sustained drives. You felt like you had a chance. Now, when Andy Dalton, he can't fumble in the pocket. You know, when you fumble, considering. But our defense was outstanding. I'm glad you gave the game ball to the red zone defense. But, you know, that's what we expected it to be, outstanding red zone defense. You know why? Because we were number one. We were number one in the NFL last year in red zone defense, not giving up touchdowns. They were only 2 of 5. If we don't play outstanding red zone defense and force field goals, we done got crushed. And then when you look at it, they were 5 for 5 on field goals. I think overall that's a winning defense. But if you look at these two areas again, we're -1 for the game, not +1. We're -1 for the game, now -7 for the season. Boy, trying to play catch up to be on that plus side, to be considered like, a playoff team, and you can understand the rhyme and reason why you're winning and losing. This is another thing about the defense. Even though the Vikings, they got weapons that they were scoring, because they had scored on 6 of their last 7 possessions, but 5 of them were field goals. So I still think if you don't turn over the ball, don't give them a short field. Because think about how we responded. They got 9 points basically off of 2 turnovers, and that was like 9 points, 3 field goals, and then the fake punt. The fake punt, I count that as like a turnover because they're extending, they're going forward. We're getting out coach. That was one of our strengths. We had a top 10 special teams last year. I think we're in the bottom 10 now. Our special teams suck. We're not getting it done. We came into the game. We were usually averaging this with Deontay Hardy. I said you got to average like double digits, 10 or more yards punt return, because there's one less first down you got to get. And if you can get around 14 yards, then you're like a Pro Bowl or All-Pro type thing. Well, we were giving up 10 a little bit over 10 yards of punt return coming into the game. Well, we gave up 11 and a half. And Hardy we averaged 2. No, last year we were doing the opposite. We were getting 11 and a half and only giving up 2. If you're over 25 yards, 26, a kick return, considering, that's legit. Well, they averaged 26 and a half yards. We averaged 20. So, no, then you don't cover the fake punt and all that. No, special teams, we're not good enough to have any liability. So, I think our defense at times, look at turnovers. No, you can make a list of like 4 or 5 things. Well, this is why you 1-3. When you look
one of the biggest reasons why? The Saints have played 240 minutes of total action, right? 240 minutes in 4 games.
And how much you had to lead? Is that
less than 6 minutes?
They've had the lead only for 6 minutes.
Less than 6 minutes.
So always playing catch up.
Pretty much.
So always playing catch up behind the 8 ball. Well, really, when you think about the start of the game, they go, now think about this, and we take pride in our defense. They go 13 plays. Now, we buckled down. They had 13 plays. They basically had the ball 7 minutes, and we're losing 7-0. So, yeah, and we were outstanding on third down defense, and they made 4 third downs on that drive, and they only ended up 5 of 14. and they made 4 on that initial drive. So other than that, we were outstanding on third down defense. They were only 5 of 4, 36%. Well, like I said, we didn't start the game good, but we were good overall. This and that thing. Okay, look at this. Like penalties. Okay, like you get a first down by rushing or by passing or by penalty. Guess how many penalties the Vikings got to give them a first down?
Total? In the game? 5.
5, exactly. 5. You know how many the Saints got? 0. So, I mean, you can look at all these little bitty things, how you stop them. Oh, got a penalty. They get a first down. So that's undisciplined to me. That Dennis Allen, to me, has to be a hard ass to the players. No, come on, man to man. You say this is unacceptable. And if you can't get it right, then we're going to get someone else. Now, you know, when you invested all this money in these players, sometimes they get, you know, and tell you know what. But it just has to be a whole team concept that we have to hold one another accountable. Had been the case. If you look at Dalvin Cook, man, he's eating this up in the past. Well, he only averaged 3.8 yards a run. He had a long gain, I know, 14, but he wasn't a 100-yard rusher. We actually ran the ball better per average than the Vikings. You know, we need to give an honorable mention to Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray basically knows the Saints offense, but he comes off the street. Okay, here's a cat that comes off the street, practice squad. He's a veteran, and he averaged 5.2 yards a carry. Look how hard he was running. I don't know. They're similar style runners, but he looks like a better version of Mark Ingram right now. I don't know. To me, I'd rather go with Latavius Murray. Hey, Christian, I had saved this because I talked about this before the game. That you look at Latavius Murray, okay, he's 32 years of age. You know, he's just a month younger than Mark Ingram. So the Saints they don't have the oldest running back in the NFL, but now they have 2 and 3. So here they got Mark Ingram's number 2. They got
Latavius Murray didn't look old to me.
No, he looked like he was ready to roll, and the game was not too big for him. But Christian, you know, he's rushed for like 1,300 yards in a Saints uniform and 9 touchdowns in 2 seasons. So we got to give him an honorable mention. Looking on the defensive side, you know who else we got to give an honorable mention to? Contavious Street. You know, he's the one that gave Drew Brees the business. Remember when the 49ers hurt his shoulder? He ended up having a sack. He had 2 quarterback hurries, and he had a tackle for a loss. So as far as putting pressure on the quarterback, we were a little inconsistent. At times, it seemed like Kirk Cousins had too much time. Then at other times, we really got after him. I thought Cam, Jordan at time, even Davenport. But it wasn't like on that consistent basis that we need to have. Now, Lattimore was very active. They wasn't shying away from him. He ended up having 10 total tackles, 7 unassisted. But then look at Tyrann Mathieu. Honey Badger finally got nice interception. Boy, that shows you his hands, how good they still are. Even though he's getting older, you know, you still, that one play, I'm trying to think, it might maybe Cook an 11-yard run, and Cam didn't have containment, and then Tyrann Mathieu missed the tackle on him. So you still see that with Honey Badger. But overall, I thought, man, it was just a gut punch. It was just, boy, look at Wil Lutz. Can we have any more, like, the ball not bouncing your way, bad luck? It hits the upright, then hits the crossbar. It could have maybe crawled in, but it didn't. Look, a 61-yarder, yeah, that's, to me, Lutz right now as far as, because that was still pretty accurate. As far as the length and the accuracy, to me, a 60, 61-yarder for Lutz is like another kicker, maybe 50, 51-yarder. It's just a disheartening win, and I can tell you right now, with us at 1 and 3, I'd be shocked considering the strength of schedule coming up if we get the 10 wins. I'm not saying that's impossible, but Christian, I thought right now that we would be 3 and 1 at the worst, 2 and 2, and we 1 and 3. So that's why I'm leaning more right now, kind of to 8 and 9, 9 and 8. Best case scenario. I'm not talking about double-digit wins anymore.